Sometimes they tell some pretty hefty fish stories. We don't know if they're true or not.
And now, it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, Corey Sandin, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup, and Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and Corey Sandin.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. I'm Pete Gray with Rock Cod Rick Maxa. We're in the world headquarters of Let's Talk Hookup here, right next to the San Diego landings in Point Loma. We have a couple of great guests live from South Carolina, the Shimano headquarters. We have Tristin and Kade Gunter from Shimano talking about all kinds of great products that Shimano's coming out with, new products, and about their fantastic booth coming up at both the PCS shows in Costa Mesa and Del Mar. So you stay tuned. This is Southern California's sport fishing voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook, YouTube Live, and 97.3 The Fan.
Introducing new Power Pro Max 8 microfilament braided fishing line. It's built for offshore anglers seeking smooth casting and control. Power Pro Max 8 features an 8-carrier Spectra HT construction that cuts through current with ease for precise vertical jigging with a 25% thinner diameter. Available in white and metered 4-color for trolling spread control and precise jigging depths. It's stronger, smoother, and thinner. Power Pro Max 8 is now available at your tackle retailer.
Inside information is everything when it comes to catching fish in Southern California. You need a code group to connect with what's happening on the water. Fishdope.com is your code group. Inside information available at your fingertips 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Fishdope.com really does help you catch more fish and burn less fuel. Fishdope.com is the only fish finding service with a spotter plane, along with a crew of top anglers on the water almost every day that report actual locations and catches. They become your code group. You get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Quintin, 365 days a year. Fishdope.com has online planning tools, temperature and chlorophyll charts, hot bite icons, and more. Take it from me, if you don't have Fishdope.com, you're not part of the in-the-know crowd. Membership is affordable and good for an entire year. Plus, use the special code and save $30 on a new Fishdope.com membership. Check it out today. Fishdope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. What a fun show today is going to be, man. The shows are coming. The weather is great. And we got the boys from Shimano with all kinds of new stuff to talk about. Today is going to be a good one, man.
Yeah, good morning, Tristin and Kade.
Morning, man. How are you?
Hey, we're doing great. Great to have you here on Let's Talk Hookup. And how's the weather in South Carolina?
Well, it started off a little bit rainy this morning, but the sun's out. Unfortunately, it's blowing a little bit today, but it feels like spring, that's for sure.
Okay, not a fishing day, because of the wind, huh?
No, it doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, not going to be out there trolling ledge runners.
Yeah.
What's it doing out there, Pete?
Oh, it's a beautiful day here. It's sunny, and it's supposed to be in the 70s here all week, and flat calm, and ready to go fishing for sure. And what's interesting about we talked about yesterday is we had this pretty big storm, which is what's happening probably in the East Coast there today.
Yeah.
Lots of wind, lots of rain earlier last week, and it didn't hurt the water temperature. Our water temperature is 5-6 degrees warmer than normal.
It was definitely the type of system that should have really screwed things up for us, but it didn't. We should have seen a pretty drastic drop in conditions, and we really didn't. Just very minor, if anything at all. Yeah. And now we're right back to nice. I think it bodes really well for what's going to come this year.
Yeah, we're super pumped up for the upcoming shows and all the anticipation for what could be this year for sure. Really good.
Yeah, awesome, guys. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, we're jealous of that Southern California weather a lot of times. So
yeah, well, nice, but you guys have a lot of fish to catch back there too. So it's kind of a trade-off, right?
Yeah, we got a few.
So let's start off first with about your display at the upcoming Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Show in Costa Mesa and Del Mar. By the way, are you guys going to be there?
Yes, I know. I will be there, Pete. And yeah, we're super excited, kicking things off at Costa Mesa. We're going to be in booth 578. We're going to have a big emphasis on a couple products. You already talked about it, and I'm sure we're going to talk about it a little bit more today. But of course, Ledge Runner and our trolling systems. We are fortunate to have some of our pros that are going to be out and assisting us. Benny Ortiz is going to be taking the seminar stage. He's going to be talking about slow pitch jigging for tuna, along with rockfish and link cod and some of the bottom fishing opportunities. Benny Florentino, you guys know him well, obviously. He's going to be talking about bass fishing, talking about our new Tranx that just came out, and Brandon Nelson of Lucky B is going to be roaming around the booth talking about all things tuna. So I don't want to give away too much. I know we have a very special display that we're really happy to debut for you guys out there. So you're just gonna have to stop by booth 578 and check it out.
You guys, Shimano really stole the show last year with a creative booth. It's been a while since Consumer Trade Show has seen such a involved, big, booth with all the pros. And, last year was the back of the boat and the rail system. And I'm pumped, it was almost like a blend of an ICAST style booth back to a consumer show. And it really stood out in a really good way. I can't wait for this year.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. And that booth is amazing because it's like
killer.
you're fishing from the boat,
yeah,
right?
It's like you're on a sport boat. It's really cool.
When you do your seminars. Yeah. And those guys put on such great seminars and you had some pretty fabulous things. So what is going to be debuted this year? I know one of the things I'm holding my hand for our Facebook and YouTube camera is this Shimano Ledge Runner that is debuting. Tell us about that product.
Yeah. So we can dive into it. So as you all know, when you look at the offshore market for trolling or kind of across the country, there's a few kind of traditional ways of fishing. One of those being a diving plug, and the diving plug really we feel on our side has evolved over the years. But fundamentally, there's a few key challenges that prevented it from being maybe the most effective all the time, or some areas that we wanted to offer improvements to it. So when we look at Ledge Runner is Shimano's version of a diving lure. We have two different sizes. So we launched a 200 and a 160 size. And some areas that we really wanted to focus on, there's kind of three key segments. So first was ADR, so adjustable depth range. And this is a pretty unique feature. It really enables anglers to change the trolling depth with ease and efficiency, giving unmatched versatility in our trolling spread. So the idea here is that there's a solid ring built to a solid plate that runs through the complete lure, and it's operated via a spring mechanism on the bottom of the bill. So if you have that version that's in your hand, maybe in front of you now, you can see. So if you press the front of the lip up from the bottom, it lifts that solid plate, and then you can adjust that split ring or that solid ring in one of three positions. So there's a deep, a medium, and a shallow. And each of those positions offers obviously a different running depth. And as you tune that running depth to your preference, you can also adjust the action, right? So the deeper version, the deeper position has a bit of a higher pitch or a wider wobble, and the shallower position is a little bit higher pitch, tighter action. So that's one kind of fundamental difference that we're pretty excited about. And what it allows for a few different things. One of the main things is if you're fishing close up to the boat, it allows you to really put it in that deep setting and run it below the prop wash. So in the cleaner water, more visible, whether you're fishing wahoo, tuna, whatever species, it puts it in an area where the lure's visible. Also, it allows for you to fish a tighter spread with less likelihood of tangling. So if you take what we like to fish, for wahoo fishing back here in Charleston, for example, is a 4-rod spread. So we can jump into the systems of it later, but staggering essentially every 25 feet. So when we pair that with our depth hunter line, you can fish those lures really tight together and set them at different depths. So you have a deep, a medium, a shallow, and another medium, for example. And then as you go into tight turns and things, you have very, very little, actually almost no likelihood of tangling. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. Additionally, go ahead.
That sounds amazing. And I know there's a great YouTube video on the Shimano site that features Dave Pfeiffer. and shows them catching wahoo with the ledge runner. I believe it was the 200S, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, so 200 and also the 160. Actually, we're fortunate to get on the water with Dave a good bit, and he's a wealth of knowledge. And over the course of our fishing here locally, we've seen that 160 has really found a place, even on the wahoo. A lot of people, I think, associate that smaller size with being maybe for blackfin or a smaller tuna or things like that here, mahi. But we found it to be particularly effective on the wahoo as well. And it's interesting. So we're fishing the 200s close to the boat on the kind of the short positions off the corners, and then we're fishing those 160s on Talica 25 long.
Wow, that sounds super cool. Now, and you said both sizes, right?
Yes, sir. Yep. So there's a 200, like I mentioned, that's a sinking lure, and that's what we're fishing close. And the 160 actually is a floating lure that we fish far. And the difference in the sinking and the floating allows for, if you pull off the engine, the ones in the back will float up and your shorts will sink, and that just prevents any tangling as well as the boat comes out of gear, things like that. So the goal, I think, of this is to make it a really effective and simple spread to fish.
Wow, that
and when you do that,
brilliant.
I know one of the other things that we're really looking forward to is this this style of lure. This shape. The shape isn't anything earth-shatteringly new. It's been very effective, and it has really taken over the type of lure that we use for wahoo fishing on our long-range boats. And it has kind of replaced the old school Marauder. Like there are several that have become real popular. The problem with them is the longevity has been poor. And this looks really robust. I think that's what we're so excited about. Obviously, the adjustability, being able to run deeper than the competition, but also it comes out of the box with a really good-looking set of hooks, and the body looks extremely durable. And that's been kind of the Achilles heel of some of the other brands that don't add up to maybe what Ledge Runner's about to, is just that you didn't get that longevity. And this thing looks very, very robust.
Yeah, that was something, again, obviously wahoo bites, you see them on your long range trips and boats that are heading down south from where you guys are at. But, they're brutal, man. A wahoo bite, smoking the lure at high speeds with its teeth and everything, they'll puncture it. You'll get water penetration and things like that, the lures of the past. And that's an area we really wanted to improve on with the Ledge Runner introduction. So, yeah, we have the body's 3 millimeters thick. As I mentioned, it's got that solid plate design throughout the entire lure. So if the lure was to crack and you had a fish of a lifetime on there, you don't have to worry about wire pulling out or breaking apart due to that plate construction.
Wow. And I'm pretty excited about, we're just on the cusp of what our yellowtail season here at the local islands and offshore and stuff like that. And I think that 160 with the treble hooks is going to be killer for that with the adjustable depth range, right?
Yeah, I think that's, again, going back to like the versatility of both the 200 and the 160. I think we're excited for anglers to see the opportunities or realize the opportunities they have in the local waters. Again, I think, to your point, that 160 size on your local yellowtail there should be an awesome addition.
And Pete, just another thing that we're going to be doing at our booth during the Costa Mesa show and San Diego is every hour on the hour. We're going to have a Shimano team member going through the very specific rigging that we suggest for a Ledge Runner. Starting with a wind down leader, going over crimps, going over chafe guards, all that stuff. So for those people looking to learn a little bit more about it, we're gonna have everything you need to get started and how to rig it and the gear to fish it on. So that's we're really excited about that also.
Oh, cool. That's going to be cool. And you talked about the Power Pro. The metered line. Talk about that for a minute and how that helps when you're trolling Ledge Runner.
Yeah, it's huge. So when we look at on the Shimano side, we use the word system, and when we talk about system, what we're really speaking about is a fully integrated solution, right? So in many cases, it's the rod, the reel, the line, and the bait all coming together to function in a fully integrated package. And for this system, for the Ledge Runner system, as we speak to it, we really talk about the metered line being standard depth hunter that comes in the 25-foot increments. So what that allows really for us to do is we're jumping on the boat, we're going out, our short position we know is 25 feet plus the wind on back. And then our next will be 50 feet plus the wind on, 75, and then 100, right? And that allows for us to set it. We don't have to mark the reels. We know, okay, we just let out 1 color, 2 colors, 3 colors, 4 colors. And again, going back to the simplicity, you're really focused on, and it allows for time of getting the spread out and fishing it effectively without too much work on the backside. So that's really the beauty of our Power Pro Depth Hunter series of line.
So are you trolling 80-pound, 100-pound Power Pro with some kind of like a 100-pound wind on leader? 80-pound? What's the weight?
Yeah, so we like to stay on kind of not over exceeding kind of what the requirement of the fishery is. So for here on our 25s, so our 160 size long baits, we're fishing 65-pound Power Pro, or 50-pound. It kind of depends on your preference. And then we're fishing 80-pound up on the shorter ones.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And both the leader as well as the Power Pro are kind of matched up.
Yeah, the leader will typically go a bit heavier. So we'll fish from the Power Pro. We'll tie a bimini in it. And it's important you always end on a color, right? So the 25-foot increments, you want to end on the color transition. That way you know you're exact to your changeover point. Tie a bimini, and then just cat's paw a 25-foot fluorocarbon wind on there. Usually on the wind on, again, we're using like 60-pound wind ons for the 160s, and then 80-pound wind ons for the 200s. And then from there, we'll go to a swivel. We like to use just a standard swivel, not a ball bearing swivel. Typically, we find the smaller size is a little bit less of a presence in the water. And from there, we'll transition to about a 4-foot section of fluorocarbon leader. And usually there we'll fish 100-pound on the 160 and then 130 on the 200 in the tight baits. And then we go just straight, no swivel or anything, straight crimp with a wire chase guard to the solid ring on the lure.
Okay, for fishing wahoo and such.
Yeah, and that's our traditional wahoo spread here. Of course, guys in the Northeast on the West Coast are able to tailor that. But that, we found one, that the fluorocarbon leader section really allows the lure action and running to be true and maximize its potential and not interfere with the action in any way. And that wire chase guard really prevents any wear through. And we change them frequently to prevent any corrosion or anything. So that's kind of, again, what we found to be the best. And but we're excited to see what others come up with.
Yeah, and like you said, you are going to go over all this with hourly seminars on how to rig these at the PCS shows, both in Costa Mesa and San Diego, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Part of our show is, I think we have we want to be able to elevate the angler experience, not just in the product, but in our messaging and our storytelling. And the PCS show, we're always excited. It offers us a great platform to be able to do that. As you mentioned in the past, we have the rails on the boat simulating the fishing. Putting a bend in the rod in kind of a true West Coast format. So being able to engage with the customers, get their feedback, and have that meaningful connection is something we're always super excited about every year.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds great. Well, that's just one of the many products that Shimano's introducing this year. One of the new ones we're pretty excited about here too is that Tranx 400B. Tell us about that.
Yeah, yes, sir. We're excited about the Tranx 400B. Also, we did a similar revamp with the 300 size last year. So this is 400 is next in line. And what's exciting about the Tranx is obviously from freshwater applications to saltwater. I mean, that's a big nasty reel designed for big nasty fish. So I know there's some big swim bait bass guys in your neck of the woods in California that love a Tranx also. But really, the big addition here, guys, is the SVS Infinity MD Tune braking system. So that's an 8-pin brake shoe, and you have an external dial, so you're able to make adjustments on the go, and you have a lot more room to make adjustments depending on whether you're throwing a big paddle tail around kelp or you're throwing even casting iron. So really designed for throwing big heavy baits. So we're excited about that. And like I said, Benny Florentino is going to be able to speak to some real cool West Coast applications for the product also.
So you're saying that this new Tranx 400B is more powerful than the previous Tranx 400?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're like I said, we're super excited about it. It's always fun having a really new, new and redesigned product like that to show off. So as Tristan said, making sure that we're able to tell the story and explain the product, and also explain the use case of some of this technology for the angler is really important to us. And we're going to be working at that during the show for sure.
So the SVS Infinity MD Tune is something new to this reel?
Yes, new for the B edition of the Tranx 400. Yep.
And so that just gives that just provides more adjustability.
Yeah, more adjustability, and it's really suited around, again, the MD Tune is really suitable or built around larger baits. So guys who are throwing, maybe, I know some guys still like to throw maybe an iron, a big calico bait, things that are heavier in weight. This braking system really is built and kind of adjusted or refined to be suitable for those big baits. So as you know, we have a standard SVS in some of our smaller, more traditional bait cast reel offerings, and this is just the upsized version for upsized fish, upsized baits, and what you guys are really seeing out there on the West Coast.
Cool.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Well, as you can hear, we have a great show lined up for today. A lot to talk about with Tristin and Kade from Shimano here. And these guys are obviously live it and breathe it, both East and West, and know the products. And they help develop the products, as a matter of fact, here for Shimano. So stay tuned. This is going to be a fantastic couple hours here with these guys.
Yeah, so much to learn and so much cool stuff to cover. And if you want to join us, man, we want to hear from you. If you want to be a part of Let's Talk Hookup, give us a call this morning at 833-288-0973. We are standing by at the Fan Studios to take your phone calls. Again, 833-288-0973. Or you can send us a text if you want to text in your questions to the show. The only way to do that is through the Let's Talk Hookup app. It's not often that we have guys that are this tech advanced with our new Shimano gear coming out. Lots of great questions coming for the show. And if you want to text in your questions to Tristin or to Kade, again, it's only available through the Let's Talk Hookup app. It's a free download if you don't have it already. It's the easiest way to listen to Let's Talk Hookup. You can catch all the archive shows. If you're not able to listen live, you can listen on your drive home from work. It's a pretty slick way to do it. And you can catch all the great info from Tristin and from Kade this morning. When you do send in your text, make sure you include your contact info. Just a name and a phone number along with your question is all we need in case you're the winner of today's prize. And boy, do you want to win something today. So these brand new ledge runners have just hit the shelf. Brand new.
You have them at Fisherman's Landing.
We
Tackle
do. Yeah,
now.
we've got
That's
them in
where
the
I got
tackle
this
store.
one,
Right? Yeah, we've got them right now. We love them. We're really excited about them. But you will be the first on your block to have a set of ledge runners, because one lucky caller or texter is going to win a set of 4 of the brand new ledge runners. That's courtesy of our good friends over at Shimano, and a big thanks to Tristin and Kade and the whole team over there for making that happen. Not a lot of guys have a 4-pack of that brand new lure on the shelf. And in addition to winning those killer jigs, you're also going to get 2 tickets to go to the PCS show. It's going to be your choice whether you want to go to the Costa Mesa show, which starts March 5th through the 8th, or if you want to go to the PCS Del Mar show, that's going to be the 19th through the 22nd, a killer prize combo for one lucky caller or texter at the end of the show today. Again, if you want to get through, it's 833-288-0973. And when we come back, we're going to be taking your phone calls, reading text, and a whole lot more with Tristin and Kade. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California's sport fishing voice, on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook and YouTube Live, and 97.3 The Fan.
Everything about Katmai Lodge is first rate, and it should be on the bucket list of everyone who enjoys fishing. This is Brandon Bono. My visit to Katmai Lodge is an experience I will never forget. Constructed on the banks of the Alagnak River in Katmai National Park, the lodge is a fishing dream come true. The experience is incomparable. Whether bait casting, spin, or fly fishing, you'll find king, sockeye, chum, coho, and pink salmon, plus trout, grayling, char, and dolly varden. Their guides are amazing. Days are exciting and fun with hot lunches and snacks served on the river. The brown bears, bald eagles, beaver, otters, and other wildlife you see is amazing. The lodge staff is great. There's complimentary wine, beer, and appetizers before a fantastic dinner every evening. Take it from me, a trip to Katmai Lodge should be on your list. For information, visit katmai.com or call 1-800-330-0326. Once again, that's Katmai Lodge, KATMAI.com.
If you spend serious time on the water, you already know how fast conditions can change. Glare shifts, light drops, wind kicks up, and when you're fishing all day, your gear has to keep up. That's why Costa built the Pilot House Pro. It's a semi-rimless shield designed to give you a full, unobstructed view of the water with the clarity Costa's known for and the protection serious anglers actually need. Pilot House Pro is Z87.1 plus safety rated, ventilated to fight fog, and built to stay locked in when things get rough. From flying hooks to long hours in the sun, it's made for real conditions, not just the easy parts of the day. If you want eyewear that works as hard as you do on the water, check out the Pilot House Pro at CostaDelMar.com. See what's out there. Safety rated in U.S. only.
A top fleet and superb fishing is what Seaforth Sport Fishing in Mission Bay is all about. With free parking and fully stocked tackle shop, it's no wonder Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Apollo, Outer Limit, El Gato Dos, Pride, Tribute Pacifica, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth, Sea-Watch, and San Diego offer the finest half and full day trips available. Seaforth Sport Fishing. For charters or regular open party schedule, check seaforthlanding.com. Run by fishermen for fishermen in Mission Bay.
The PCS show is coming, and we will have our best booth ever. Hi, this is Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle. Check us out in the wildly popular saltwater building at the PCS show in Costa Mesa. We will have exclusive products and promotions available only from us. Everything at the Fisherman's Landing Tackle booth will be on sale with a ton of high-quality saltwater products that no one else at the show will have. For saltwater tackle at the PCS show, your best stop is the Fisherman's Landing Tackle booth.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. What a fun show it's going to be today, having Tristin and Kade in here. Man, I'm pumped.
Yeah, that was super cool. We were just talking about Tranx 400 and the new ledge runner, and now another new introduction is that Osia jigger, the big game. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I think you might be referencing the Osia Plugger BG. It's our big game casting rod. So honestly, man, this is something that I think both Kade and I have a ton of passion about and are super excited. So we launched, I think in 2023, their initial version, first introduction to the U.S. of Osia Plugger big game. This rod's really our flagship casting rod, built really honestly around big tuna. So in Japan, obviously they have a lot of tuna fishery, and historically it's been kind of jigging and casting, and they've really seen the casting market continue to emerge, obviously for various reasons. The excitement of catching a lure on a topwater or a fish on a topwater, the ability to engage with the tackle system. Spinning tackle has continued to advance. So in the past, like the feeling of a coffee grinder or people summing up a spinning reel as a coffee grinder really is gone. And what we're able to do with Stella and Twin Power SW and some of the reels now is pretty amazing. But Osia Plugger Big Game, again, is kind of our flagship casting rod. We've got in this new model 5 models, or this new series, we've got 5 models ranging from a 7-foot triple XH all the way up to an 8.3 XH that's a 3-piece. So for guys who are traveling and things like that, we can jump into technology and things. But have you guys had any chance to fish any of these rods yet?
Oh yeah, I've fished Osia Plugger. It's unbelievable how much distance you can get out of you put the Stella on there, and it's unbelievable how far you can cast with that rod. It's a game-changing rod.
Yeah, and we've got some of that. I think the casting performance, the fish fighting performance comes from some of our technology. So you guys, anyone who's familiar with Shimano is probably familiar with Spiral X Core and High Power X, but
right.
Just a quick rundown. If you guys want to hear about Spiral X, I can kind of walk you through that technology.
Go for it. Yeah, totally.
You know, on our side, we're kind of geeks for the technology, the features that make these rods what they are. So we always like to spend a little bit of time discussing them. But yeah, so Spiral X 4 is our kind of flagship blank technology, and what it is at the base of the mandrel, we roll carbon tape at a 45-degree angle. Before any of the standard sheet material is applied. So we have that carbon tape. Then there's the standard sheet material, which is the vertical 0-degree fiber. Then after that's laid, we roll carbon tape opposite direction of that interior layer at the opposite 45-degree angle.
Wow.
So
and
then that's
Spiral
infused
X
with a
name there?
That is, yes, sir. And that's infused in with a nano resin. So the core, Spiral X core, which is again kind of at the top, is a nanoresin impregnation into that material. So it really filters in, seals it up really tight, And that allows us to produce a rod with a higher strength to weight ratio.
And that gives you that incredible power when throwing a big plug.
Yeah, that's right. And it also prevents any blank ovalization. So if you think of a straw, as you start to bend a straw, it starts to ovalize and then it eventually folds. That's the same thing with how a fishing rod breaks. And through this Spiral X4 technology, it reinforces the rigidity, and so it prevents ovalization significantly more than a standard blade construction.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Now,
and that's I was just going to say that's the thing about it is like you can't. It's one of those things. It's like talking about a seakeeper. Like you can't appreciate that final product until you hold it in your hands. Like you can't look at Osia Plugger big game and see that rod in the rack and pick it up in one. Just you can't imagine how lightweight that is, and then it's going to provide the power and lift for taking tuna that are triple digit size and beyond. Like it doesn't compute until you see it in action. It's unbelievable how lightweight yet powerful that combination still is.
And super cool that you make one in a 3-piece so you can take it to Panama or wherever with you, right?
Yeah, that's right. Exactly, man. Yeah, so it kind of Spiral X Core, it provides up to 10% more torsional rigidity and 15% more compressional rigidity than standard Spiral X. So Spiral X is already leaps and bounds ahead of standard blade construction, and this just improves even more on top of that with the nano resin. So
go ahead.
Oh, and Peter, just next time you're getting ready for a big Panama trip, I just wanted to highlight too. So like obviously, these rods are made for guys throwing super big poppers and baits like that. We also make an Osia bomb dip in a 170 size. We have 6 different colors. And I just wanted to highlight here, these poppers have like a cupped face and a bubble chamber. And man, especially on these big game rods, you can just work them really fast and rip them around, and it just leaves an awesome bubble trail. And it's an unbelievable bait that works really, really well in conjunction with this rod, along with the Stella. You can throw it a mile. And it's we've there's been a lot of big tuna fall victim to the bomb dip over the years. That's for sure.
What size Stella are you using?
So these rods really, in the big game, really are to support anywhere from like on the smallest side of 14,000 up to 30,000.
Wow!
And we did just recently introduce a 25,000. So this is really servicing the market. In the past, a lot of anglers have actually purchased a Umea part. It's a special edition spool out of Japan that was a 20,000 max. So it was the 20,000 size spool, but the line capacity of a little bit deeper, like a 25,000.
Yeah.
And so we ended up seeing the demand for that and brought in a standard reel now in a 25. So it's got deep, heavy, high line capacity, but a little bit smaller arbor. So the casting performance, you're not getting such a big loop coming off of your spool as it interacts with that guide and the blank on your cast. So we're excited. But yeah, so I think 14,000 and up, all the way up to 30,000 for the Osia Plugger big games.
Sure, yeah, and not just Panama. I'll tell you what, the way things are shaping up with our big bluefin season coming up here in the spring, and when that stuff really gets on that popper here, and I think this is going to be a year that we're going to be looking at needing the big Stella and the Osia Plugger big game here on the West Coast.
We're a market that is so conventional gear driven. It's how we grew up.
Totally.
It's how we fish. It's what we do, and it's one of the reasons Tranx 500 has become so popular. But there's a lot to be said about appropriately, you talked about systems earlier, appropriately matched gear. I think with big game spinning tackle, Shimano makes gear that equals the playing field in terms of, conventional versus spinning. It's not cheap. It's an investment you're going to make. Say a big game is not an inexpensive rod, but neither is a 10-day trip and the fuel and the time and everything else that it takes to do it. And it's one of those things that spinning, when you decide that you want a big game spinning outfit, it's one of the few times that you need to kind of sack up and make that big purchase. And we talk about it in the tackle store all the time. Shimano is fantastic at offering gear for every level that one can participate in. And if Trinidad isn't in your budget, well, Torium is. And if Talica isn't in your budget, Speedmaster is. And I know that spinning is that same way, but it's one of the few times when you really, when spending the extra money for the power that a Twin Power or Stella gives you, it really makes a difference, because you're going to rely on that power when you're trying to fight a big fish with spinning tackle. Conventional, we have the rail and we have other things that allow us to create, power and pressure and take the heat off of you. But spinning tackle, you're one-on-one. There's no resting that thing on the rail when you're fighting a fish, and it deserves a rod at the level of Plugger, Big Game, and Stella.
Yeah, for sure. Well, phones are packed, Rick. Texas we've already have lots and lots of texts. A lot of texts. They want to talk to Tristin and Kade. So let's jump into the phones.
I'm ready, man. We're going to start off with Alex. He's calling us from San Carlos this morning. Alex, thanks for getting us started here on Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning, guys. I got two questions. First off, I got a trip to Hawaii coming up next month. Never been to Oahu before. I'm planning on taking a travel rod and the 8-foot 20 to 40. I'm thinking about either taking a Tranx 400 or the 500. I wasn't sure if you guys have a recommendation and which lures I should take for just fishing off the rocks.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, man, I think probably a 400 will suit you well, especially on a rod like that. I've been fortunate to go to Hawaii and do some fishing there, and even on like the larger or medium size, GT or something like that you would hook from the rocks. I think that 400 will serve you well. And obviously if you put braid on it, 50 pound or something like that, 60 pound, I think it'll be more than enough.
Alex, thanks for the call, man. We appreciate it. I do want to, you asked about baits. One of our new baits for 2026 is we had a little bit of a revamp with our current sniper jig lineup. And, if you're familiar, you can rip these things vertical. You can wind them as fast as you possibly can on top of the water. They're super, super versatile. And, we make them all the way up to, 4.25 ounce. So I'd try to pack a couple of those along. I'm a big blue sardine, a fan of the blue sardine color. So I'd like to pick some of those up too.
It's forever a challenge for us out here to not say the word Colt Sniper, but you're right. Current sniper. I got to try and bash that into my mind. There's not a fish that swims that doesn't eat that stupid lure. It drives me. It's so cool. And man, hats off to Shimano. Like it's very rare that the best lure for catching a rockfish or a sculpin off the bottom is also the best lure for catching a salmon on the slide, and is somehow also the best thing for casting to a tuna. But man, you want to talk about something that gets bit just everywhere. You just pick the size and the style and insert that particular lure. That's as home run as they get.
Good tips. Yeah. Hey, thanks. Go ahead.
Oh, just wanted to highlight quick, when you check these out, when you check up the new version of these for 2026, really the only thing that's changed is it's a scale boost. It's our scale boost technology. So the colors have been refined a little bit. They look, they have real lifelike, hologram-esque scale patterns on them. So I'd really, once you guys catch these, Pete, you got my email, obviously. I'd really love your feedback on what you think of how these jigs look.
For sure. I'm excited to see them and actually go out and put them to use too, because like Ricky says, it's like everything eats that stuff. And if it's more enhanced with the scale like looks and stuff like that, fantastic. That's going to be really cool.
The potato chip of the ocean, that's for sure.
Yeah. Perfect. No doubt. That's exactly what it is. Rick, you have a good text?
Thought so. This was text in from Ralph in Minnesota. He says, good morning, everybody. Can't express how much I like Shimano products. Everything from my current snipers up to my Talicas. My question for Tristin and Kade, I absolutely love my Trinidads, but I really want to make the switch and get a few spinning outfits for this hopeful upcoming El Nino season. What are two outfits that are similar in performance and ease of use to my Trinidads that would be appropriate for this upcoming year? Again, that's Ralph and Menifee.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Ralph. We appreciate the question here. So I think really the reels, I think matching up with the Trinidad in terms of performance and kind of where they were positioned in the hierarchy would be Twin Power SW and Saragossa. So I would recommend taking a look at those. I don't know what size Trinidad you're fishing. Perhaps it's a 20. If you are fishing a 20 Trinidad, then I think somewhere around like between a 10,000 and a 14,000 size reel would be optimal for you there. Those are pretty versatile. They cover, I would say, nearly 90% of techniques, unless you're going for something really, really, really big game, or you're fishing, a much smaller Trinidad that you want to cover some lighter, shallower water tactics or something like that. But yeah, man. So just Saragossa, 10, 14, I think are probably the most versatile for you there, and same in the Twin Power lineup.
Why, boys, would one person choose, a Saragossa, a great performing saltwater reel, easier on the budget, very appropriate. One of the most popular saltwater spinners we sell out here versus spending the extra bucks in getting twin power. Where does the difference lie, and what do your extra bucks gain you when you make the jump from one to the other?
Yeah, so both of the reels feature some of our core technology, Hagane body, Hagane gear, which is our cold forge spinning reel gear. I think one of the major differences that we always like to highlight is a heat sink drag. And heat sink drag really is a technology that in big game, larger fish scenarios, maybe it's a big yellowtail he's casting to or something like that, disperses the heat down and out of the spool. So the bottom of the spool where the drag engages is an area under high drag that we see a lot of heat accumulation. And in twin power SW and now in Stella SW, of course, we have that heat dissipation mechanism. That's not featured in Saragossa. As you mentioned, Saragossa is still an awesome reel and covers a lot of fishery and applications for many, many people. But that heat sink drag in twin power really is a huge point of differentiation.
All right.
Okay, awesome.
Good stuff, man.
No doubt this is going to be a
These
great
guys
one.
know they know their product.
No doubt, man. Going to be a fun one again. You stay tuned. Lots more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. More of your phone calls, more of your texts, and obviously a lot more with Tristin and Kade. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook and YouTube Live, and 97.3 The Fan. One rod has set the standard for serious saltwater anglers worldwide, and that's CalStar. From the rugged dependability of the West Coast series, the lightweight strength of the Graphiter, or the performance of the GG series, all CalStar rods are handmade right here in Southern California of the finest materials and craftsmanship. Check out the new CalStar models now available, as well as upgrades to the classic rods that you know and love. If you want your tackle to be state-of-the-art tools to get the job done right, it's CalStar at Fine Tackle Dealers.
Hi, this is Captain Ray Lopez, owner-operator of the American Angler. I've spent more than half my life aboard the American Angler along with my partners Brian and Lori, developing a team that's as good as it gets. I've been fortunate to spend time on the ocean with so many fine people that I look forward to fishing with. We can't thank you enough for being part of the American Angler family, and if you haven't joined us, we love the opportunity to meet you. Text or call Lori at 619-223-5414 or check AmericanAnglerSportFishing.com.
Get ready for the most exciting sports show of the year, the Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Tackle, Boat, and Travel Show, presented by Geico. Now 2 great dates and locations. First, the giant 16th Annual Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Show, March 5th through the 8th at the OC Fair and Event Center in Costa Mesa. Then, the first annual Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Show, San Diego, March 19th to the 22nd at the Del Mar Fairgrounds. Check out hundreds of sport fishing exhibitors, manufacturers, tackle dealers, fishing boats, and fishing resorts, taking up the huge fairgrounds at both locations, plus fantastic seminars and free kids trout pond. Seminars featuring some of the top names in the industry, from catching giant bluefin, swordfish, calico bass, freshwater bass, trout, and more. Take advantage of incredible show specials from major tackle retailers and boat dealers. Talk to the top fishing travel destinations. Thursday, March 5th to Sunday, March 8th at the Orange County Fairgrounds in Costa Mesa, and in San Diego, March 19th to the 22nd at the Del Mar Fairgrounds. Presented by Geico. Check sportfishingfestival.com.
Here's the hot tip on the best fishing LA has to offer. 22nd Street Landing Sport Fishing in San Pedro. They are home to LA's finest open party fleet, including overnight on the Freedom, Catalina Freelance on the Pursuit, half-day trips on the Monte Carlo, and 3/4-day trips on the Sea Angler. For your own private charter, we have the Outrider and Trueline available. There's always plenty of free parking and a fully stocked tackle store. 22nd Street Landing Sport Fishing in San Pedro. Call 310-832-8304 or on the web at 22ndstreet.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning. Lots of fun, lots of great info going on, and man, we're having a great time. If you want to join us again, it's been a very busy morning. In fact, the phones are 100% full right now, but there's going to be lots of opportunities to get you through. Again, it's 833-288-0973. And as promised, it's time for the Catch Report. We're going to find out what's biting out there. Today, that Catch Report is sponsored by Summit Gasoline at the San Diego Sports Arena. It is the place to fill up your car, your truck, and most importantly, your boat with the lowest in gas and diesel prices. Do you know that Summit is also the place to get the lowest prices on ice and snacks before your trip? Over 40 snacks for just 89 cents, as well as fresh sandwiches, burritos, salads, frozen bait too. Ice is nearly half the price of the other places at only $3.99 for a 25-pound bag. Plus, you get 100 pounds of ice for free with a 35-gallon fill, and the best car wash in town for just $6. It's Summit Gasoline, free ice for our Let's Talk Hookup listeners, and always the lowest prices in gas at the San Diego Sports Arena. We got him, Captain Brian Woolley of Dana War Sport Fishing is on the line. We're heading up north. Good morning, Woolley.
Hey, good morning, guys. How's it going this morning?
Doing great, buddy.
Talking one of your favorite
Good,
Chubbick,
good.
Shimano, right?
There you go. Absolutely. Hey, short week, obviously. We got the boat off the dock a couple days with that weather, but even after that, it's crazy. The water is still above 60 degrees. So, it's just wild with that vengeance that all that wind and whatnot came through here. We're still 61 degrees has been the water temp here along our little stretch. So very good to see that. With that, the bass fishing has been, it wasn't challenging. You just had to put a little bit more effort into it, right? Most of the catch has been on the lighter line approaches. We're talking like 8 to 12 pound line, and near the bottom on like a Carolina rig or a reverse dropper loop, getting those strip baits of like the sardine and the mackerel kind of down in the zone there. The calico bass action on the smaller profiled lures mid water, like the fluke lure was decent. The dirty off-color water has really been the issue. So things are starting to get together and kind of straighten out from that week of weather. But we did see plenty of action, some catch and release on that mixed bass. So we're still catching fish even in kind of that funky water. Deeper zones, kicking out sculpin, whitefish, and sand dabs. It's been an easy 5 fish on the sculpin for the anglers fishing that rubber lure, getting it down in that zone and shaking it around a little bit, catching some of that. And then on our halibut derby, we knew it was a matter of time to get those fish moving around. There was a 26-pounder caught on Friday's drift trip, which was a solid fish. So that fish has kind of taken the lead for the month of February. Not going to say impossible to beat. They did see some good sign. They had a handful of other legal fish. I think they had a 12-pounder and a couple smaller 5-6 pounders on that same trip. So seeing stuff in the right zones, which is kind of what, we've always been talking about, that halibut. It was a matter of time, just that stuff needed, I think, a little shake up to get moving around. So even though it was a short week, we did see some good things happen, and we're looking forward to things getting better this week with this good weather ahead. So if you want to hop on a trip with us, our number here, 949-496-5794. Of course, you can link us there through the Let's Talk Hookup page or hit us at danawharf.com.
Awesome. Well, great info, and we got a beautiful week of weather coming our way. There's some big halibuts to be had on the ground. There's some, always opportunities at some surface game
Sea
fish
bass,
when weather gets like this,
right?
and we got a nice little stretch of it coming. Willie, a great job, a great report. We'll look forward to hearing another one next week.
Sounds great, guys. Have a great week. Thanks for the time. We'll talk
Thanks,
again.
Willie.
Appreciate that as always, man. Great info, and I love it. I love it. That halibut drift trip, such a cool trip, especially when there's big fish biting like that.
Oh, yeah. 26 pounder, a nice one for sure. Hey, let's jump back in the phones, Rick. They're packed up, and you want to get through when one line opens, 833-288-0973. Don't forget, we're giving away a set of 4 of these new Shimano ledge runners, as well as 2 tickets to the PCS show, your choice of Del Mar or Costa Mesa. Yeah.
John in Long Beach, you're up next on Let's Talk Hookup. Thanks for joining us, John.
Good morning, John.
We got you there, John. All right. Well, how about we jump back into the phones? Let's try Robert. He's calling us from Canyon Country. Hey, Robert. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Let's Talk Hookup is the most awesome show. Where else can I call in and talk to the guys from Shimano? So
Sure is. Couldn't agree more.
Oh, yeah. Incredible. So I've been playing with spinning reels, just started, and was able to get a couple of, I won a couple of jackpots just because of that spinning reel. I could cast a little bit further than everybody else. How does a bait runner work? I'm real curious about a bait runner. And real quick, I just wanted to throw it out there. You guys are awesome. Been looking for a travel rod, and I think I just found one. And lastly, Pete, my eyes are starting to give out. Where can I get prescription Costas?
Okay.
Good questions.
Yeah. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we're super pumped that you're experimenting with some spinning tackle. Again, we feel pretty strongly there's a lot of application where spinning is very viable and has a place. So that's great to hear. Bait runners are awesome reels. They've obviously been around for a long time. Typically, when we think of bait runner on the Shimano side, we think of some type of bait, whether that's dead bait or live bait fishing application. So in cases where you're fishing a lure consistently, you want to engage it. You want one drag that's performing consistently because it's really a manual operation. But in the case of bait runner, it disengages the main drag and engages a secondary drag that allows it to be at a very light poundage. So when you get bit, you can have the bail closed. The reel's not engaged. The drag will run. When you crank the handle over, it engages back to the primary drag on the top of the spool stack. And so essentially, it goes from very light drags when you get bit, the fish is able to run with ease, to engaging back into your primary drag. So it's a functionality, again, really built initially around live or dead bait, if that answers your question there.
Yeah, that should cover it. Thanks a lot. That's excellent. And as far as prescription Costas, Sport RX, go see your local optometrist, but also go see Bob and the gang at the Costa Mesa or Del Mar San Diego PCS show, and go to the Costa booth. But they might have a prescription guy in their booth. Generally they do.
Exactly, yeah.
That will fix you up. But Sport RX, I know my wife Lolly wears prescription Costas, and they are amazing over there. Sport RX, they're in San Diego. I think they might have another location in LA, but they also are online too, sportrx.com. But they do a great job with prescription lenses.
I met them at I believe it was PCS show, could have been a show in previous, but yeah, I think that's kind of the spot.
Yeah,
that's what everybody goes.
Thanks a lot for the call there. Hey, another great text here from Ted in San Diego. He says, "Good morning, gents. Excited to see Shimano at PCS. What benefits other than thinner diameter will Max 8 provide compared to Power Pro Max Quattro? I have a Tranx 500 PG and will get a new Tranx 400. Benefit me at the bottom fishing in Alaska for lingcod and halibut. Good fit for salmon trolling." He says, "I need a new reel." Who doesn't?
like your style.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
Yeah, Max 8
awesome.
versus Max Quattro.
Yeah, so both of the Max lines feature HT fiber. So they both have the same 25% thinner diameter characteristics. The biggest difference is standard Max Quattro is a 4 carrier braid, where Max 8 has, as it's mentioned in the name, is an 8 carrier. What that 8 carrier provides is smoother casting, smoother line feel, again, because it's a more round construction than the 4 carrier. So if you're fishing in a situation where you value a little bit of a smoother line, a little bit maybe smoother, longer casting performance, that's where you'll really see the value of Max 8.
So on a bait casting reel or a spinning reel?
Yes, sir. That's correct. Yeah, either application. Both lines are applicable. Again, the casting characteristics and line performance of the 8 carrier is a separation.
Also, too, is a 4 carrier like a Max Quattro. Like Tristan said before, Max 8 is super smooth casting and has a smooth feel. But with a 4 carrier, it's a little sharper, and that really comes in handy if you're fishing around kind of gnarly kelp or weeds or anything like that. If you're bass fishing, inshore fishing, if you're around some vegetation, sometimes that 4 carrier gives you a little bit of an edge.
Better saw blade.
Yeah. So maybe what, like for putting on your popper rod, maybe use the Max 8, and putting on your calico rod, put the regular Max Quattro, right? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely, exactly. Totally. Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool.
That's good information.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Well, hey, had another fun text come through. This one was from John in Mira Mesa. Guys, I'm very curious on Shimano's percentages of fishing versus cycling sales, and I'm very curious, has cycling technology ever made its way into fishing tackle or vice versa? Also, are there any other industries that Shimano's involved in?
Yeah, so obviously cycling globally is a huge segment. So we kind of see, I think, globally majority of the business in that category. But from a technology standpoint, there is a lot of overlap. As you know, our brand was started in Japan, in Sakai, in 1921 with the construction of the bicycle freewheel. And that metalworking background really allowed the transition and the bloom, I guess you could say, of Shimano in the fishing segment. So metalworking, you can see the transition from bike gears and bike parts into fishing, drive gears and main shafts and all the cold forging and metalworking that exists on the fishing side today. So it is a unique balance between the two, but it's a cool story. And we're here today where we are because of the bicycle freewheel in 1921.
Pretty amazing.
I mean, gearing just has to set Shimano apart more than probably other things from the competition that is there. Like the reels are just so smooth and so powerful, and we talk about it a lot in the tackle store. Like it often wins. A reel has to win in the lineup at the showcase, and it's one of the hardest places. When you line everybody's top products out and you let the customer feel them, it's hard to ever beat a Shimano because you pick that thing up and the handle turns and there's just nothing. It's like butter. It's the most smooth. It's the most powerful, and that they're a gear company first, man. They're really good at doing that.
That's for sure. Now, speaking of
Yeah.
go ahead.
I was just going to say, one thing that is so important to us and our brand is that feeling that you feel when you first pick up a Shimano reel, that you feel that after long, extensive, use with the reel, right? So we want to maintain the reel's performance over the lifetime of the product, not just in the in-store feeling. And a lot of that comes from the Hagane gear on the spinning side. You can cast a gear, you can machine one, and we use a cold forging process. So it's, I think, like 2,000 tons of pressure used to stamp the reel at room temperature, cold forging, right? And that preserved all the grains and kind of micro, I don't know the exact right word, but micro attributes of the metal are consolidated and condensed. They're not cut and they're not poured. And that's something really unique to Shimano and to the way our reels perform over a long period of time.
Another kind of cornerstone technology I just want to point out too is micro module gearing. So we use many gear teeth in contact, smaller gear teeth in contact with each other. So if you think about it, you got bigger gears, bigger gear teeth. Those bigger gears, there's a little bit more play in between them. But with the micro module gearing, given the size of those gear teeth, they fit very well together, and it's super smooth. So that's another one of our.
Well said, boys. Awesome. Well, we're coming up to the end of the first hour. We got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. We're staying on with Tristin and Kade. You stay tuned. Great information still to come, just like you've been hearing from the boys. It's a good one. It's Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California Sport Fishing Voice. We're on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook and YouTube Live, and 97.3 The Fan.
Hi, this is Christy Wheeler with Dawson and Associates Insurance, your full-service agency specializing in boat insurance, including charter, commercial, and personal use boats, business insurance, and travel insurance. We work hard to get you the most coverage for the best prices and guarantee the lowest rates available on all the travel plans we offer. So give us a call today at Dawson and Associates Insurance at 619-460-5615 for a free quote today.
Hello, this is Captain Mike Totter from Searcher Sport Fishing. Alongside my colleague, Chef Josh Evans, and our dedicated team, we invite you to join us aboard the Searcher. Our fishing trips range from a day and a half to 8 days, available May through November, and include charter options. We're committed to upholding a legacy of top-notch customer service, delicious food, and a friendly and talented crew. Book your fishing adventure online at searchersportfishing.com or call Rachel at 619-226-2403. That's searchersportfishing.com. We look forward to welcoming you aboard.
Are you ready for reliability? Then you're ready for a Yamaha outboard. And there's no better time to jump on board than during our Ready for Reliability sales event. From now until March 31st, 2026, eligible new Yamaha 30 to 450 horsepower outboards get 2 additional years of warranty protection for a total of up to 7 years of warranty coverage. Plus, Yamaha 2.5 to 25 horsepower outboards come with up to $200 in dealer credit. Get ready to enjoy Yamaha reliability with a new outboard today. Visit your local Yamaha dealer for details. Yamaha, reliability starts here. Offer ends March 31st, 2026. Subject to change. Other restrictions and conditions apply. Select models excluded. 24-month Yamaha extended service added to 36 or 60-month factory limited warranty. Choice offered to Florida residents is a 24-month Yamaha limited warranty. See authorized participating Yamaha outboard dealers for details. Cannot be used with any other Yamaha offer.
For your next fishing adventure, check Point Loma Sport Fishing. They offer half-day and full-day trips daily, perfect for families and the novice or seasoned fishermen. Point Loma Sport Fishing also offers overnight to multi-day trips, targeting the best of seasonal catches. Visit PointLomaSportFishing.com, where you can purchase tickets online and get more information on the trips available, or call 619-223-1627. Want to go fishing? Point Loma Sport Fishing has you covered.
It's truck month at your local San Diego County Ford dealers. The biggest deals of the year on Ford trucks are happening now. From Pro Power Onboard to Blue Cruise Tech and the Ford Security Package, Ford's award-winning truck lineup is built with the power and utility to help you take on whatever life throws your way. From F-Series, America's best-selling truck, to the Ford Maverick and the Ford Ranger, built to take you everywhere from work to play. Check out the entire lineup of Ford trucks and take a test drive today. Go to your local San Diego County Ford dealers today.
KWFN and KWFN HD1 San Diego.
This is Jake Cronenworth.
And the Padres in front. It's 5-3.
Padres play here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan and Odyssey Sports Station. This program is sponsored and produced by Let's Talk Hookup. Opinions and offers expressed during this program are not those of Odyssey or 97.3 The Fan. Sometimes they tell some pretty hefty fish stories. We don't know if they're true or not.
And now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup. This portion of the show is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Shimano rods and reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. And by Yamaha Outboards, official motor sponsor of Let's Talk Hookup. Here we go. Another great hour of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup. Here's Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Mexa, and Corey Sandin.
Welcome back. Hour number 2. Let's Talk Hookup right here on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook, YouTube Live, and 97.3 The Fan. Pete Gray here along Rock Cod Rick Maxa in the world headquarters of Let's Talk Hookup here, right next to the San Diego Landings. Beautiful Southern California day here in San Diego. And a couple of great guys on the line from Shimano headquarters in South Carolina there. Tristin Poole and Kade Gunter from Shimano are here. And we're so excited. This has been such a fantastic show. And you guys are such a wealth of knowledge. And we have a full hour left for you here.
Boys, you need to make your way out to San Diego. We need to do the next show in the studio. This is too good.
That'd be awesome.
So fun having guys that are so well versed in this product and know what they're talking about, and that is clearly the case with Tristin and Kade, man. Yeah, we gotta have you in the neighborhood next time.
Definitely.
You guys are talking to a couple. Proud Ginu owners as well. So next time, if you're ever in South Carolina, we'll get you out in some redfish. We'll trade you.
That sounds like fun. A Ginu. Tell us what that is.
It's essentially a motorized canoe. I believe we both have trolling motors on ours, but it's perfect for the skinny water. You know, the creek fishing, the marsh fishing that we do a lot. So it's a good time. It's cool to sneak up on. It's really cool to sneak up on redfish. That's for sure.
Oh,
That's awesome.
yeah. You know, I visited Dave Pfeiffer there in Charleston area, and he had a Ginu, and I was like, "What the heck is that?" It looks super cool. But we went out and tried to pursue some redfish, and that's what a cool deal that is. Walking the flats and checking those things out, and casting poppers, lures, whatever. What do you cast to a redfish in the flats there?
Well, I don't want to give up all of our secrets. But, honestly, a lot of soft plastics and top waters. But you know, I'm in the office with a lot of real purists. But I'm not too proud to grab a bucket of crabs now and then either. So a little bit of everything.
That's my style.
Attaboy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we're having
when I was with Dave, he didn't have any crabs.
Yeah, there's no
unfortunately.
buckets of
crabs. We didn't catch anything either.
Well, we're certainly having a great time with you boys this morning. If you want to join us out there, we'd love to have you, man. We got another full hour both with Tristin and with Kade. If you want to join us, 833-288-0973. It has been an incredibly busy morning on the phones. They are packed up, but we do have one line open. We had one call drop off during the break, so a great chance for you to get through. Again, 833-288-0973 is how you do it. Or you can send us a text. Again, text message questions are only available via the Let's Talk Hookup app. If you don't have it already, go get it. Easy to find on the Apple Play or the Google Store. Or the
free download.
Yeah, Google Play or the Apple Store.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's a fun one. It's fun. It's easy, and it's the only way you can text in your questions. If you do, you're going to be eligible for that killer prize at the end of the show today. Again, one lucky caller or texter, and as always, that's decided by the prize coin flip. We'll flip it at the end of the show to determine whether the winner comes from the caller side or the texter side, is going to win a 4-pack of those brand new Shimano Ledge Runner lures, courtesy of our friends at Shimano. Plus, you're going to get 2 tickets to the upcoming PCS show, your choice of Costa Mesa, March 5th through the 8th, or Del Mar the 19th through the 22nd.
Let's jump back into those phones. 833-288-0973. Jeff standing by at the fan to take your call.
Carl and Escondido is up next on Let's Talk Hookup. Good morning, Carl.
Morning, guys. Hey, I got a question. You said there's the Twin Power and the Saragossa spinner. What does the Stella? Which one does the Stella fall into those two?
Yeah. So, hey, thanks for the call. Great chatting with you. Hope you're having an awesome Sunday morning. But the Stella really is our flagship spinning reel, and what that has to do is the technology that's found in the reel. So we can go through that really quickly. We call it our Infinity suite of technologies. So there's Infinity Loop, which is an oscillation pattern of the spool that improves the line lay. So you guys are talking about popping tuna and casting, those the big game rods, and the importance of having maximum casting distance, especially with that Max 8. This is another technology that helps with that. So the way that spool moves up and down, the line lay sits. So you're, not only are you able to maximize your castability, but super smooth drag performance. There's also Infinity X Cross, which is simply wider gear teeth. So you get the distribution of heavy load between the main and the pinion gears. Those teeth are wider, so everything's a little bit more balanced, and that's just smoother winding. And then you have Infinity Drive, which essentially is just a different way of supporting the main reel shaft. It's a low friction bushing that we use. So like, hey, listen, if you're up and down on a big tuna, a big yellowtail, like you're still able to crank on that thing really, really smoothly. So, kind of to answer your question, the Stella is our ultimate flagship reel, but that is not to say that you can't find some of those technologies that I spoke about in other models. One of the things that we do at Shimano is have trickle-down technology. So over time, the technology that's found in our flagship products will make their way down to other price points. So you mentioned Saragossa. Saragossa also has that Infinity Drive tech that I was talking about. So I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Tristan, but
Yeah, I think Kate summed it up. So yeah, Stella SW is the flagship of our saltwater spinning reels. Then Twin Power SW is positioned right below that in the hierarchy. And then Saragossa, and as Kate mentioned, our spec, our features really just trickle down from the top. We roll out new technology in Stella, and then in the coming years, you'll see that technology come down through the hierarchy in that portfolio.
It becomes hard to make your decision. Saragossa, Twin Power, and Stella is a good, better, best scenario. Where it becomes difficult is the good of Saragossa tends to be multiple levels above the best of some of the other competition, so it's hard to just say, oh, well, Saragossa is good, but compared to a Twin Power, it's this. But the lowest level that you're talking about, Saragossa, is still such a high end above so much other stuff that's where the decision becomes hard to make. But boy, you really do. You see a physical advantage in your bang for the buck as budget allows. So wherever you at, there's a right reel for you. Just always
and like you say, it's a trickle down technology all the way from Stella to Saragossa and on down too. Even some of the lower end ones, they still cast amazing,
awesome,
and lots of power.
One of my new favorites that you guys have, and correct me because I don't know, I'll mess up the pronunciation. Is it Marvel or Marvel? One of the lower price point reels that came out the last few years. Like that thing is so smooth and so nice for a reel that's under $200. I love them.
Yeah, totally. What's interesting about our small to mid spin portfolio is that once you get up to a Miravel, you see the reels split into two distinct families. So you have Core Solid, which is, of course, the Stella is the flagship. Then it goes down all the way down to Ultegra. And then on the Magnum Light side, the other side of that, your flagship is Accents. And actually, we just launched Vanquish, which for a lot of freshwater guys, that's very exciting news. It's been a very popular reel in Japan for a long time, but that goes down all the way to Miravel. So Miravel is kind of your entry level Magnum Light reel, and really the only difference in those two families is the rotor construction. So on the Magnum Light side, you have an asymmetrical CI4 Plus rotor, so it's made out of a super tough carbon infused product. It's super tough, super rigid, but it's also exceptionally light. And then on the Core Solid side, you have a heavier resin all the way up to metal on more of the flagship models like a Stella. And the difference there is the weight. So like for your bass guys, maybe for your, more your freshwater guys, that start and stop technology of the Magnum light, like I said, the rotors are very light. So it takes limited inertia to start the rotor, and it can be killed on a dime. So as you guys can imagine, if you're bass fishing, if you're using forward-facing sonar and the need to really, really manipulate your bait in a very intentional way, that rotor is critical. And then on the other side, the core solid, like I was talking about, once that rotor starts moving, it's a little bit heavier, so you're able to have a deeply connected winding feel throughout the whole retrieve. So that's great for techniques where you're casting and winding. You need to be you need to be in constant contact with that lure and keeping it moving. So you're totally right. Miravel's a great option, and like I said, kind of your entry into that Magnum Light family of spinning reels.
Wow, it sounds fantastic. Well, look who's joining the party here. Benny Florentino from Coastal Charters. Morning, Benny.
Hey, what's up, Benny?
Hey, good morning, guys. Since Shimano was on the line, I figured I'd say hi and talk a little bit more about the Tranx 400 and also the fishing. So good morning, Kade, Tristan, Ricky, Pete. Thanks for having me real quick.
How's it going?
Good, man. Hey, I'm going to need more than one Tranx 400 HD because my guys over the last week, they've all been fighting for it. So I've had the reel for about a month now. And the performance, I'm fishing a little heavy on the 400 because it's such a versatile inshore, offshore stuff. Anything from throwing poppers at school size tuna, throwing the surface iron for yellows and calicos, throwing, like yesterday, we were throwing 9-inch weedless for really, really good surface fishing in February. It's 61.5 degrees.
I was just going to say,
that's
awesome. That's awesome.
Dude, we had 60 bass up to 6.5, a handful of 5s, a bunch of 3s and 4s. A lot of it was surface. I mean, 9-inch, 7-inch, 5-inch, it didn't matter. But the 400 took the cake, throwing glides. We're throwing the armor joint a little bit up in the surf, and caught a few little ones. I'm need to get another one. So, hey, the guys are fighting for it. So.
Hey Benny, how's that 400 look? How's that 400 look on an outlier swim bait rod?
Oh, for me, it's a little big because the 300 HC is just ideal. My guys are blown away because I have the whole set except for the XXH, but I have them anywhere from the 7.4 MH with a 150 Tranx, 7.9 with a 200 Tranx. Then I have the 711 H, the 80 XH. Those seem to be the popular tapers for saltwater guys. So they're getting beat up pretty good. It takes a certain angler to fish it because I don't know if they appreciate the weight, the feel, and all that. But they're happy with the Terra Mars we have now. I know for 2027 we're gonna work on something to kind of mimic that outlier. But the outlier for me personally, my personal gear is 100%. But the 400, I mean, if guys want to see it, come out to the PCS show, come to the booth. If I don't know the specifics, I'll refer to Tristan because he's a wealth of knowledge on all the products because he's my go-to guy at the show. So, but fishing was fantastic. I've got 5 more trips this week. Weather's phenomenal. Water temps. When I left the island was 62.5. I was doing 38 knots from the west end to Oceanside. 68 miles, right?
Wow.
Hour and 20 minutes to get back to the dock.
That's in your new Camus? Your new Camus?
In the Camus, yeah. We were burning fuel. Yeah.
I love it, Benny.
Cool. Hey, Benny.
I started on the east.
What's the rod you were talking about? Tell us, Tristan and Kade, what's that?
Okay, so that's they released it. Was it last year, guys? I think it was last year they released it. Sam Kennedy helped develop this rod. It's mainly for freshwater swim bait, glide bait, etc. And they go from 7.4 medium heavy to 8-foot XXH. The 7.4 for all those young guys out there with a Tranx 150, and we're throwing these for calicos. We're throwing 5-inch weedless for calicos and getting good ones. And I'm fishing 40 pounds. It's a little heavy for that, but fishing 40-pound max. But the weight, it's a high-end glide bait, swim bait rod. My guys, they're just, I don't know how many guys bought them when they're available, but they're all about that 711H. That seems to be the taper that the guys like. But I'm telling like the younger guys, hey, that's 7.4 medium heavy for spotty, inshore, light jerk baits, spinner baits. I'm throwing all that stuff. Medium sized cranks in the bay. It's a phenomenal. Those are my two favorite out of the outliers. Performance wise, weight wise, just incredible.
Yeah, and fantastic. And of course, you'll be at the show, right, Benny? Both Del Mar as well as Costa Mesa doing seminars.
I'll be, I think Mike's got me doing seminars, but I'll be in the booth to answer any questions on the inshore stuff. Again, I'll refer to the boys at Shimano for the ledge runner, but I'll get versed by the end of the show. I'll be pretty versed by it, but I can answer all this because I helped field test a lot, the 400 last year. And I was already blown away. And obviously, if they come fishing with me, they'll have all the outfits. Yesterday, my guys own boats. 2 guys own boats, have tackle. They came on the boat with a sandwich for me, a breakfast burrito, and used all my tackle.
That's cool.
Benny Florentino, Coastal Charters. Hey, we'll look forward to seeing you at Costa Mesa PCS as well as the San Diego show. And Benny, great addition. And I want to go fishing with you, man. Let's go to Clemente.
I want to go. Yeah, I want to go ripping on that new Camus.
Maybe we can all do a trip together.
Yeah, you're talking.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's go.
Thanks,
hey guys,
Benny.
Thanks for the time. Appreciate
all right,
it, man.
Thanks for calling in. Appreciate it, Benny. Nice to hear from you. Yeah, pretty cool. Benny Florentino again, be in the Shimano booth, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, along with your other
Yeah,
pros.
Benny's fantastic, man.
Benny's the best. I mean, I always tell Benny, he's like, whatever product he represents, he's the best representative for a product because he uses them, he talks about them, and he knows how to fish them. So he's an awesome representative for Shimano as well as anything else. Hey, another awesome representative, Mike Lum, is here from Captain Rollo's Kids at Sea. Good morning, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, good morning, everyone.
Hey,
nice to hear the guys from Shimano joining the show. This is exciting. Good stuff.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. So tell us about the big event that you have going with Captain Rollo's Kids at Sea, raising money to take kids fishing. It's the Rollo Rod Raffle coming up again for to start at PCS, right?
Yes. The folks at Batson Enterprises have really stepped up to the plate again this year. They had a local rod builder, Salty Dog Custom Rods, Bill Haven, put together 8 absolutely beautiful custom rods and donated them to us. And what we're doing is a special raffle for those. We're going to give away 6 of those 8 rods coming up here soon, but we're starting to sell tickets right now. And so in order to get involved in that, you buy 4 of our grand raffle tickets, which is our annual raffle, which we are in the process of selling tickets for. Those tickets are $15 a piece, and 30 great prizes for that raffle. Those will be drawn at the Day at the Docks in April. But for now, if you want to enter the Batson Rod Custom Rod giveaway, you buy 4 of those tickets, and then you get a bonus entry into the custom rod giveaway. And the way that'll work, when we draw those rods, we'll draw 6 winners, and they'll be contacted in order, and they can select which rod they would like to have. All the rods and the specs and the photographs are all on the website at rollokids.org. So that's really a bonus drawing for buying 4 of the grand raffle tickets. And these rods are spectacular. We've had some very, very beautiful rods over the years. I think these are as nice as anything we've ever had. Please go to the website, rollokids.org, and check those out. If you'd like to buy tickets to get involved in this, you do that by calling 951-264-7382. That's 951-264-7382. And just leave your name and telephone number. If Tim doesn't pick up the phone, it's because he's on another call, but he will get back to you and get your tickets to you. You can also send an email to win@rollokids.org. And all you need to do on that is just put a name and phone number. And again, Tim will call you back and get your information and get you tickets. You buy 4 of the grand raffle tickets, you get entered into the Batson drawing as a bonus. And of course, all the proceeds are used to take more kids on their first ocean fishing trip. the generosity of the folks up at Batson and Bill Havens for putting these rods together is really, really special. We're having just an absolutely great year with the Rollo program. We're going to be at both the PCS shows and up at the no, I'm sorry, we're not. We're going to be at both the PCS shows and in Costa Mesa. By the way, we'll be in the same location, which is between, I believe, the Costa Mesa building and the Huntington Beach building in that pavilion area there. And that's where we've been the last few years. So please stop by the Rollo booth. There'll be other promotions and, of course, the spin to win wheel, and all of our regulars will be there and can answer questions, get you hooked up on some of these drawings. But I wouldn't wait on this Batson Rod Custom Rod giveaway. I would give Tim a call at that 951-264-7382 and get your name in the hat for these rods. You won't regret it, and the kids win with every ticket that you purchase.
That's fantastic. And the rods will be on display in the Rollo booth at the PCS shows, right?
Yes, at both shows, they'll have all the rods there to check out and look at. They really are. They're stunning.
I want to
beautiful.
say,
absolutely wonderful rods.
I just wanted to comment. We utilize Bill Havens a lot. He builds a lot of rods. The guy is so good, and it's just, you know, you're gonna walk away with an art like those guys. Just they cross the bridge from function to like artistic function, and that guy is it, man. You are gonna have a very good looking tool that will last you forever. I'm really excited, Mike. This is a very cool promotion, and you know, guys are literally winning works of art that they can then go take and go catch tuna with.
Yeah, fantastic. And of course, again,
the reasons.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say the reason for 8. He built us 8 rods and donated 8 rods. We're giving away 6, and we want everybody that wins to have a choice. And so what we do is we do it that way, and then we end up with 2 additional rods that weren't selected, and then we use those for additional fundraisers down the road. So it really, we maximize the fundraising opportunity for the donation they gave us, and all 6 people get to choose a rod.
Fantastic. Awesome. Mike, again, win at rollokids.org. Send your phone number to Tim or call 951-264-7382. And he's standing by right now. Take advantage of that great thing. Purchase 4 $15 Rollo raffle kit. Have a chance to win 30 different prizes, and then have that bonus prize of one of those amazing Bill Haven Batson rods. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate your information, and we'll see you at the shows.
You will. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Appreciate that very much. Hey, I had another great text come through. This one says, "Good morning, guys, from Mario. Longtime fan and huge supporter and user of flat falls and current snipers, especially the 100-gram flat fall for springtime bluefins. Can you guys tell me a little bit about Shimano's new innovation in lures and jigs? Anything you're excited, and can you let the cat out of the bag on anything coming down the line?"
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, we appreciate you speaking so highly of the current sniper and the flat fall. Obviously, flat fall really was, we talked a lot about Dave earlier, Dave Pfeiffer, and his involvement in Shimano. And I think the flat fall and the original butterfly jigging system, obviously he was instrumental in bringing that to market some time ago and really put jigging, I think, at the forefront of the U.S. fishery. That has continued to evolve. So as you've seen probably in the past few years, we've continued to expand our jig assortment to where we now have a flat side, flat fall. We recently introduced sardine waver, shimmer fall. So it's a pretty extensive assortment of jigs now. We also had wing fall, that probably some of you were familiar with. I think we've discontinued it out of our assortment now, but really a super diverse assortment of jigs. And the goal is, as the water conditions change, you have situations where the current's higher, the fish are deeper, they want something moving past them faster. We have an assortment of jigs that cover all those applications. So one that we're super excited about and really passionate about internally here at Shimano is the sardine waver. Sardine waver is kind of defined as like a pilot jig. So when you first get onto the boat, you're scoping out, what are the conditions going to be like that day? Do we have high current? Do we have, medium current, low current? That jig kind of excels in everything. So you can see, when I drop it down, what's the current doing? What's the water like? What are the fish? What action do they prefer? Do they prefer it sliding a lot, a big flutter? Do they prefer it being fished vertically back up with some kind of cadence? Then from there, you can say, okay, they seem to be eating it on the fall. We're going to shift to a more like flat fall style jig, right? So you can pivot that way. Or if you want something that's a bit more high speed, you go back to a flat side or a shimmer fall, fish it vertically. So I think that's the sardine waiver is really a great place for a lot of anglers to start when they get on the water and start jigging, and then adjust from there based on what they see based on the conditions.
And Peter, I know you've had Benny Ortiz on the show a couple times now, and he is he'll certainly be talking about the sardine waiver at the PCS show and during his seminars. I know one of the things after talking with him for a while, and I believe he was actually out yesterday somewhere doing some jigging, but the three sizes all the way from 130 gram up to 250, like Tristan said, makes the jig super versatile, and I'm excited to hear him speak on the jig at the show coming up.
Yeah, kidding. That's and I've used that Shimmerfall, man. The catching yellowtail with that thing. Those are nice. Those jigs work.
I love Shimmerfall. Any thought or chance that we might see that in some of those heavy sizes that we've been utilizing out here in the East Coast? Do you see any potential future of that thing reaching up to 300 grams or that magic number for us?
Yeah, I think in the very near future, you'll continue to see our jig portfolio grow to include some larger sizes. So we're excited for all you West Coast guys to stay on the lookout for that.
Yeah, we'll make sure you guys are the first to know.
All right, that's fantastic. And again, Benny Ortiz will be in the Shimano booth. Is he going to be at both shows, or is he just in Costa Mesa?
No, he's just going to be at Costa Mesa, but yep, he's going to be in the booth talking about jigging systems, slow pitch jigging for tuna. But also rockfish, lingcod, all of the fantastic bottom fishing that you have access to, and he's going to be in the seminar stage as well. So there'll be plenty of time for people to chat with Benny and pick his brain, because man, it's hard to believe there's anybody that is so technical about anything as Benny is about jigging. So
he is fantastic, and all his information that applies to his fishery there on the East Coast totally applies to the West Coast fishery. I mean, we learned that when we had Benny on for a couple hours, and he's really a fantastic talker. So you don't want to miss that, and go meet Benny in the booth there. Other guys you want to meet in the Shimano booth at Costa Mesa, our good friend Dave Pfeiffer, who's actually going to be. We're going to have Dave Pfeiffer is the retiring president of Shimano American there, and Dave is actually going to be having his retirement show here on Saturday, March 7th. He's going to come into the studio with Alex the Sports Barber, his good buddy, and we're going to have super good fun talking with Dave and talking about his history with Shimano. Dave's so responsible with so many things that Shimano introduced here for the West Coast and for North America in general. And Dave's amazing. And of course, Jason Livermore, the new president, taking over for Dave, super good guy, and he'll be there too. And guys, talk for a minute about Dave and Jason and kind of what they do for Shimano and as your bosses. I know you gotta play nice, right?
Yeah, so I can start, and then it can transition here to Kade. But obviously, I've been with Shimano now for like 7.5 years, and across every year of my time here and every kind of step of my journey in my career at Shimano, Dave's been instrumental. It's unique. Actually, Kade and I were having coffee this morning, and we're talking about the diversity and kind of uniqueness of Dave as it relates to his understanding of fisheries across North America and honestly across the world, techniques, and how to intertwine that with business. It's a unique thing. Obviously, we all are passionate about fishing, but we all also are working for a manufacturing company that has a responsibility to be a sustainable manufacturer and to look at global interest in that sense. And it's pretty amazing to be around someone who's so well-rounded across both of those regards. And I think both Kade, myself, and the rest of our team at Shimano would all speak so highly of Dave in that sense. And then as we transition to Jason, I think Dave will still be around and will still be a guiding hand, but Jason will be coming in with a lot of experience from across the industry. I think he's super passionate about this business now, and as he's had, I think, 1.5 years or maybe 2 years under his belt here, he's starting to really understand Shimano. What is it really in our DNA? What makes our brand unique? And is excited to lead that forward. And he has all of our team's full support as we continue on.
Yeah,
awesome,
well
man.
said.
Yeah, couldn't agree more on that, Tristan. I've only been with Shimano for coming up on a year, so certainly haven't had the chance to work with Dave as long as Tristan has. But so thankful for my time to get to work for him, and I've even been fortunate enough to do a little bit of fishing with him too, and certainly I've learned a lot about business, a lot about a lot about fishing, but I think above all else, I've learned what it really means to be passionate about something and to be passionate about the whole process of of the industry and of course the sport of fishing. So certainly wish I had more time to work with him, but just very, very, very fortunate for the time I have had.
Dave, one of the things I just wanted to say about Dave is like he has made some moves that I respect so much, and he made them out of the fact that Shimano needed to have this piece of fishing equipment, even sometimes when it didn't make the dollars or cents part of it. And we've seen that over the years of him make decisions to add a semi niche piece of gear or a reel that was so important to this particular fishery or that particular fishery, whether it be on the East Coast or the West Coast or wherever it might be. There were times when it didn't make sense for them to make a West Coast 10-foot surface iron rod. The shipping was too much. This wasn't too much. Like all of those things were not quote unquote right in the terms of the accountant sense, but they did it anyways because they said, well, we need to be complete. We're not complete unless we have that. Or it might be a spinning reel that was big enough to catch a 500-pound bluefin on the East Coast. Well, we're not going to sell enough of those that it makes sense. Well, that doesn't matter because those guys need it, so we're going to make it anyways. And I love all of the moves that he made just to make sure that product was the best. Whether it made sense or not, he did it because Shimano always has been the best. And I love that decision-making process. And I love to know that that's going to continue on as we go forward.
Yeah. And I've fished with Dave for many years and I've known him, fortunately, good friend for 35 years and been fortunate to fish with him all over the place. And he's the best fisherman I've ever fished with.
Yeah, he's
bar none. He is the best. There is nobody that I've ever fished with that's better than Dave Pfeiffer. And what's cool is Dave's still going to be involved with Shimano, more in the background, and Jason, and with Jason's guidance now and taking over. I mean, there's still going to be a lot of that great influence, and we have nothing to worry about under Jason's guidance here for the future of Shimano. And Dave will be right there, I'm sure, in his ear. There's no question about that.
Yeah, I think you'll continue to see the Shimano team be relentless and keep our momentum in our pursuit of kind of fishing excellence and continuing to strive to push innovation across the categories that we're present in. So.
Yeah, no, very excited for the transition. It's going to be really fun to go. So go to the Shimano booth, meet both Dave and Jason at Costa Mesa. They'll be there, and you don't want to miss that. But hey, let's find out what's biting out there, Ricky.
You got it, bro. It's time for our Fishdope.com report. Today, it's sponsored by the Anglers Realtor Yusuf, or with the Anglers Realtor Yusuf Husseini. Hey, the Catch Report today is sponsored by the Fish Pros. They're the Fisherman's Processing in San Diego, where you get the premier processing experience. You can check out their easier online system to book your processing orders for your long-range trips. With more team members, Fisherman's Processing stays far ahead of the rest. More same-day capacity, the finest in customer service. You can stop by their location in Old Town on Taylor Street or check fishermansprocessing.com and be sure you make that reservation today. We got him. Yosef's on the line. Good morning, Yosef.
Hey, good morning, guys. How we doing today?
Doing great, buddy.
Great. Sun is shining. Time to go fishing.
Oh, it's starting to feel like halibut and yellowtail here with the weather coming. So hopefully we get a ton of good weather in the future. It's looking like it. Not a ton to report on what's going on our coast, but Danny did give me a full rundown of everything as of this morning. So water along the coast is cold and dirty. There is lots of junk in the water. Use extreme caution, especially around the LA Long Beach Harbor area. There is anything from palm trees to logs to just tons of stuff out there from this last storm. Up in the Santa Monica Bay area, sand bass and calico are still willing to bite even in this cold water. The water's down to 58 now in that area. We were in the 60s last week. The bass are all bunched up. You just need to find the bass first. Use a lead head with squid, live preferably if available, but if not, fresh dead works as well. And they're still biting good. Sculpin are biting up there as well on the artificial reef and the El Segundo pipe. Out to Catalina, Danny did have one contact that checked out the backside and found it was still very washed out, dirty, cold water. He did not look for squid, and there's no idea if there is squid available at Catalina right now. Moving down the coast to the Horseshoe Kelp, the halibut fishing was on the slow side again with the wind current. There's dirty water down there. There are still a few around, though. The bite should improve as the water gets cleaner. In La Jolla, everybody's asking about the Bonita, and sorry to say they are not around as of yet. Danny still thinks they are around. They've just moved outside a little bit. The new Seaforth and a bunch of private boats struck out looking for him yesterday, I guess. If I was going to go look for him, he says he would go out to the 178 or the 9 Mile Bank. And they may still be around. Look for clean water. Birds are pretty much a dead giveaway. Control small feathers, 7 to 8 miles an hour. No reports around Donados yet. We should be hearing some stuff coming out of there. Nothing from Colonet right now, but there are boats that are running March 7th. So we should start getting reports from down at Colonet. It was kind of heating up before the storm. They're getting into some big 20-pound yellowtail. Offshore, there's nothing to expect right now. The water is still up in the low 60s, so we should be seeing some good fishing here hopefully soon.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
That's about it.
For sure. And I might mention too that there's a lot of stuff's going to happen in March. I know Polaris Supreme has a definite go trip to go chase bluefin at the beginning of March there, and we're actually going to have Aliar Hajanabi, Captain Aliar, on the show on Sunday the 8th, which is a Sunday of the PCS show, to talk about those trips and the future of that. So that's 2 weeks from today.
You have Dave. What the hell, man?
What a lineup, huh?
You picked the days that I'm going to be at PCS to have Pfeiffer and Aliar on.
I know.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yes, it just worked out that way. That's when people are available. But of course,
I'm super bummed.
Fishdope.com, your source. They'll tell you all about it. $30 off a new membership to Fishdope.com using the code Hookup now, lowercase, no space. And Joseph, what's going on in the real estate world?
It is absolutely nuts. Everything is selling right now. Things are moving. Buyers are back on the market. We are kind of swinging into a seller's market again. If you're looking to sell, this might be your time. If you're looking to make a move this spring, might be something you want to look at. If this interest rate keeps dropping, we are going to see increased activity and going to see this market moving.
All right. And how do we get a hold of you if you want the best in real estate in Southern California?
You can get me on my cell phone, 619-277-2169. My website, sportsmansrealty.com. On social media, at The Angler's Realtor. Or you can get a free home evaluation at SoCalHomeEval.com.
All right. Thanks, Joseph. We'll talk to you next Sunday.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate that very much. That's going to wrap us up. Again, sponsored by Gamakatsu. They have an amazing lineup of new fishing accessories now available, including their new fillet knives, everyday carry knives, the G boxes and bags to store all your tackle, ceramic braid scissors, and more, along with the best in fresh and saltwater hooks available. You can see your local dealer or check gamakatsu.com for more info.
And they're going to have some phenomenal deals at the show to Gamakatsu will, with the boxes and the hooks and the whole thing. So you definitely want to check it out.
And don't sleep on those ceramic braid scissors. We love them. They gave us several to have at the tackle store. They are fantastic. The longevity is really good, and they cut braid just effortless. It's a really, really nice tool. Yeah, those guys are killing it. Hey, when we come back, we got more coming your way. More of your phone calls, more of your text messages, and more with Tristin and Kade. It's Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California's sport fishing voice on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook and YouTube Live, and 97.3 The Fan.
It may be winter in Southern California, but those of us who live here know it's a great time of year to go fishing, and certainly not time to put your gear away. This is Ben, and you will see me at my dad's shop, Dana Landing in Mission Bay, the one-stop shop for a great day on the water. Food, bait, tackle, beverages, and more. This is the ideal time for bay bass fishing, and I get the inside scoop from Johnny. Heck, he will even rent you one of our killer blue skiffs. This is also a good time to go work on your reels, and Doug is the man for that job. If big largemouth bass are your bag, nothing beats East County Bait and Tackle. They have all the right stuff and live bait for a perfect day on the lake. Lemon Grove Bait and Tackle is super cool too, for both freshwater and saltwater tackle. ECBT is at the end of the 67 freeway on Mapleview and Lakeside. Lemon Grove Bait and Tackle is on Broadway in Lemon Grove, and Dana Landing is next to the Dana Launch Ramp in in Mission Bay. Check datalanding.com for more details.
Experience the magic of Haida Gwaii Islands, British Columbia, Canada, at Haida Gwaii Safaris, formerly Queen Charlotte Safaris. Hi, I'm Valerie Hopridge. 25 years ago, I fell in love with these incredible islands, breathtaking scenery and wildlife, warm community, and truly phenomenal fishing. That passion inspired me to open my own fishing lodge. Just steps away from the Sandspit Harbor at Haida Gwaii Safaris, you will be fishing pristine, unpressured waters for Chinook salmon, halibut, John lingcod, and more. Plus, be surrounded by untouched beauty and wildlife. All of us at Haida Gwaii Safaris have exciting news. We now have our own charter flight to and from Sandspit out of Vancouver, making your trip easier than ever. We pride ourselves on creating unforgettable adventures that turn the first-time guests into longtime friends. You will come for the fishing and you'll come back for the memories. We are booking now. Please call 1-877-815-2892 or visit us at qcsafaris.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Haida Gwaii Safaris, where unforgettable memories are made one catch at a time.
It's Truck Month at your local San Diego County Ford dealers. The biggest deals of the year on Ford trucks are happening now. From Pro Power Onboard to Blue Cruise Tech and the Ford Security Package, Ford's award-winning truck lineup is built with the power and utility to help you take on whatever life throws your way. From F-Series, America's best-selling truck, to the Ford Maverick and the Ford Ranger, built to take you everywhere from work to play. Check out the entire lineup of Ford trucks and take a test drive today. Go to your local San Diego County Ford dealers today.
Captain Jamie Tennis from Season Sport Fishing here. For the past few seasons, a dart-style metal jig has come into play in a big way for tuna offshore or even rockfish down deep. AFCO's crossbreed jig has quickly become the go-to for many since it came onto the market. AFCO's crossbreed jig is good to go right out of the package with a 4X treble hook, heavy-duty split rings, West Coast colors, and sizes 60 gram to 120 gram. Pick one up today at your local tackle store or learn more on afco.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time and a great show with Tristin and Kade this morning. Lots of really cool information with this upcoming PCS show going on. We're in a good spot, man.
Super good. Phones are packed up. Let's jump into it.
You got it. Everybody's excited to talk to the boys. How about this time we talked to Peter? He's calling us from up in the Bay Area this morning. Hi, Peter. Welcome to the show.
Hello there.
What's up, Peter?
Good morning. Can you hear me?
We got you loud and clear.
Okay. The Ridge Runner. First of all, I am a strictly Shimano guy. I run everything from the Torium, the Tranx, 500 PG, HG, Talica A's, and we also are doing a charter with Adam Williams on the Nula land in June.
Nice.
All right.
So awesome. So my question is, are those Ridge Runners going to work well on those long range trips like that? And will they work well in Central America, say Guatemala?
Yeah, man. So one, thank you for fishing Shimano. We appreciate it across our whole organization. Speaking on Ledge Runner, yeah, so I think the Ledge Runner will fit in perfectly on the long range boats and perfectly, honestly, down south for yellowfin, wahoo, anything that you're going to be trolling for down there. Obviously, with billfish, I think you'll still see a lot of, if you're in the sailfish thing in Guatemala, dead bait fishing. But I think for all the other species, the Ledge Runner would be a super valuable addition. As we mentioned, adjustable depth range, so you can fish it in 3 different depth positions. Hydro controlling, which is our stabilization feature, that keeps it straight at speeds. Here we've been fishing on this 32 CV running at over 15 miles per hour, and they're tracked 4 lures, tracking perfectly straight in line. So really that gives you versatility, whether you're putting it off the back of a long range boat or you're fishing it, down south in Guatemala on a center console. You can fish a tight spread, you can get it in, you can have confidence it's going to track straight, and fish after fish, it'll have the durability for you. So we're excited for you to try them, and you'll have to let us know how it goes, man.
Yeah, and you know what else, too, is that adjustable depth range is going to be such a key feature. There was a lot of fish, a lot of bluefin caught on the troll on plugs here last year and the year before, and I think this thing is going to kill it in both sizes here in Southern California. Don't you think so, Ricky?
I do. That I was just the lure's so new to us out here. We got ours last week or so, and the one thing that I was just looking for that had me nervous, but boy, those nerves were immediately put to rest. That style of lure has been around before, and one of the big detriments that we had with it in terms of wahoo trolling was the hooks that came on some of the competing ones just didn't have enough barb for what we like. Wahoo is fished a little differently out here than it is in a lot of other areas. And, a lot of times in most fisheries, when a Wahoo strike happens, the boat stays in gear as the fish comes to the boat. So the boat aids in keeping everything tight. And a lot of the hooks on some of the other prominent lures had very small barbs, which didn't really affect those fisheries that bad because the boat kept everything tight. West Coast, long range fishing, we do things different. We get a jig strike, the boat comes out of gear, and everybody starts casting, the Wahoo bombs and casting lures and things like that. And when now the boat is no longer keeping things tight, some of those hooks with lesser barbs, they just shake out a lot easier, especially in a Wahoo. That mouth is so bony and hard. And the first thing I saw in that ledge runner was a nice beefy barb on that thing. I was so excited to see that.
Yeah, it's interesting, all the different philosophies on barbs and how it affects penetration and things. But in all of our testing, we found that this hook design still offered the penetration and fishability that you would hope for, while still having the fish holding power, which I think you're speaking to. And, the 200 is a big single hook on both the front and the back, and then the 160's got the trebles, which is kind of a round bend, turned in treble. But both of those hooks, we haven't had or seen any issue with losing fish, and I think that'll cross over well to the west.
We're excited, man, for sure. Well,
Could if you wanted to troll the smaller one, could you change it out to a single hook?
Yeah, you can. Again, kind of the versatility and crossover aspects of fishing that treble. As you look at different species, whether it's mahi or maybe even yellowtail, having a treble on that, we found just offers a better hook to land ratio on that smaller size bait. But in terms of how it runs, yeah, you can fish it with a single, but we recommend it as it comes with the treble there.
As it comes, yeah, and it's a nice beefy treble too. So you're not
to me,
gonna straighten those things out. That's for sure. You have a great text, right, Rick?
I thought so, especially for these two boys. Good morning, everybody. I love this gear talk. I had a question about rock cod bottom fishing gear. Well, here on the West Coast, with depths being opened up to much deeper opportunities than before, what reel do your guys like for deep water jig fishing? Do they prefer a level wind versus a non-level wind reel? How does the heaviness of braid affect things? Do you like a very lightweight braid for sink? Do you like a heavy braid for strength? Give me a little rundown of what you guys think about deep water ground fishing. That's all from Rory in Lakeside.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for the question. Yeah, so the way we look at jigging is kind of, again, going back to the system side of it. So for a lot of how you guys are fishing in the West, slow pitch jigging is kind of a great way to look at it. So you can fish the jig faster, but you can also have a rod that's parabolic, that's comfortable in those deeper depths that you're fishing, and allows for an angler not to get tired over the course of the day, and optimal jig movement. So when we look at that, I'll go through a couple different reels, a couple different rods, and then how all that kind of ties together with line. On the reel side, we like to use a non-level wind reel. So looking at our Osia Jigger family, so there's two series. There's the Osia Jigger Standard, which is a star drag. And I think for you, that would be either in a 2,000 size or a 4,000 size, depending on what kind of line capacity you need based on the depth you're fishing. And then we also offer it in a lever drag. The benefit of the lever drag, for those of you who are familiar with fishing Talica, you know how durable that drag is, how well it performs. So a lot of guys feel comfortable with that lever drag, the operability of it, and they kind of can rest assured fishing knowing that they have a drag kind of overbuilt for whatever fish you may run into. Both of those, again, the 2,000, the 2,500 LD, and then the 4,000 standard, all should have plenty of line capacity to cover the fishing in the West. When we transition into rods, we look at our flagship jigging rod, which is Osia Jigger Infinity Motive. That rod has Spiral X core, similar to what I mentioned at the beginning of this call with the BG. It's got an amazing X guide train crossed over with Fuji titanium with SIC rings. So that just ensures that there's, your braid passing through is extremely smooth, low thermal conductivity, kind of flawless fishing performance. That's on the slow jigging side. And if you come down one series, it would be into the Game Type J. So we offer Game Type J from a heavy down to a medium in the slow pitch rods. And I think that's an awesome kind of more price point, a little bit more economical rod than our flagship Motive. And then when we come into line, I think, as you know, many of you have probably heard Vinny talk about the impact of line diameter in deep water in terms of scope and drag and resistance from current and things. So typically, we find that a 20-pound or a 30-pound braid is plenty strong based on the drag that you're going to be fishing and engaging with these fish with. So fishing, again, as I mentioned, a 20-pound or even like a 30-pound max, if you're fishing a max quattro line, keeps your diameter low, keeps you vertical, so the jig's not scoping out nearly as bad. In some cases, you can get away with a lighter jig. And that system really all comes together to support angler like an easy use for the angler and effective fishing tool.
That's awesome.
Hopefully that answers your question.
Very
It doesn't go too deep.
Really good information for sure. Yeah, thanks for the call. Hey, our good friend Jim Hendricks, saltwater sportsman, of course, he says a shout out to Kade, my Alabama slow pitch partner. That new Talica 40 2-speed A is great. Can't wait to take it into battle. And so that was a nice.
Oh man, I was trying to figure out a way. I knew Jim actually texted me last night and was helping me get real hyped up for the show. And I did promise I was gonna give him a shout out. So great to hear from you, Jim. Fired up to see you at PCS.
Yeah, for sure. And I might mention too, Jim, you're going to find Jim a lot in the CCA California booth, and you can register for the Star Tournament at both PCS shows in the booth there. Maybe Jim will register you for it, but they're giving away CCA Cal members get a $25 back on the $40 registration Star Tournament in a AFCO gift card. So that's going to be going on. So you definitely want to take advantage of that. And of course, they have that 17-foot Mako skiff as the grand prize, along with a lot of weekly prizes and stuff. So definitely get into that CCA California Star Tournament this year. It's going to be super fun.
All right. Hey, had a fun text come through. It says, hey guys, this is Gary from San Diego. I love the new Talica A versions of all the reels. Curious if you thought we would see an A version in the 8 and 10 size, and any chance it might be available at the PCS show.
Man, he's asking us to reveal all of our secrets here, huh?
Good job, Gary.
Yeah, so 8 and 10 for now is going to remain in line. It's a size that, again, with the change of the fisheries and our R&D capacity from our side, is not going to be changing in the short term, I can say. So hopefully that answers your question there, Gary.
Gary says he doesn't believe you, but I'll.
Maybe we can get it out of Benny Florentino. Benny doesn't really float up, but yeah, it's going to be good. You know,
if you guys could see me right now, my face is super red.
All right. So, a lot of questions, a lot of texts about servicing reels, servicing Shimano reels. And I want to just say a minute about the fantastic service opportunities that you guys have at Shimano. Why don't you talk a little bit about that, right?
Yeah, totally. So we have 2 reel service stations. One in where we're at in here in Charleston, and then another one out in Irvine. So that lets us split up, the amount of reels we can handle, and limits wait time. So if you go on fishshop.shimano.com, there is a page that runs down how we handle reel service, reel repair. It gives you kind of a step-by-step process on how to send your reels in, and you can even call and they will give you an idea on lead time. So if you got a big trip coming up and you got to get your Talicas, you want to once over in your Talicas, or you need something changed out in your Stellas, they'll be able to give you a pretty dialed in idea how long it's going to take. So those guys are fantastic. We have a awesome, amazing team in both in both locations, and those guys just want to get everybody back on the water and crushing fish. They really are great guys.
They are.
Yeah, if I can add to that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say that when we look at Shimano, the way we look at fishing is it extends far beyond just your time on the water, right? From the moment you start engaging with sales staff to look at the product, all the way through the after sales service. Those are all extremely important to us and our brand and how we're represented and the longevity of the product. I actually had a conversation with someone in our customer service department the other day about a Stella and looking at it like a family heirloom, right? So it's something that people say, man, like my grandfather was catching bluefin on this. I caught bluefin, and now you're passing it, to your son or whatnot. And it's cool to have a product that can have that story and that the brand will support, will carry parts for. And it's something that we, encourage a lot of anglers to consider when they're looking for product.
I love that.
Yeah, and I recently just set in one of my Tranx 500s, which it just had too much abuse, I think. and they caught a lot of good fish on that. And I sent it up to Irvine, and those guys turned it around so fast it works like a brand new reel now.
I love it, man.
Yeah,
they're the ones.
They're unbelievable.
Nobody builds a reel and takes care of it like Shimano.
Yeah.
Hey, when we come back, we got more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way, including finding out who's winning that 4-pack of those brand new ledge runners. We got more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook and YouTube Live, and 97.3 The Fan. Everyone has their go-to fishing spot. My spot is Kingfisher Charters in Sitka, Alaska. Rock Cod Rick here to say if you're looking for the ultimate Alaska experience and the best value in Alaska, it's Kingfisher Charters. Owner Seth Bone and his crew consistently deliver deluxe accommodations, the finest food, world-class fish processing, and top-of-the-line fishing experience. We've literally sent hundreds of our listeners to Kingfisher, and they all can't wait to go back. Most Alaska resorts make big promises, and they don't deliver, or they'll nickel and dime you to drive up the cost, but not Kingfisher. Everything is included. Your license, fish processing, super deluxe accommodations, amazing food, airport transfers, your gear. Literally all you need to bring is your layer clothing, and Kingfisher covers the rest. They also have the finest boats and charter captains in Sitka, all for the ultimate value. Take it from me. Book your trip to Kingfisher Charters and you'll thank me. Kingfisher Charters. 800-727-6136 or check kingfishercharters.com.
The PCS show is coming, and we will have our best booth ever. Hi, this is Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle. Check us out in the wildly popular saltwater building at the PCS show in Costa Mesa. We will have exclusive products and promotions available only from us. Everything at the Fisherman's Landing Tackle booth will be on sale with a ton of high-quality saltwater products that no one else at the show will have. For saltwater tackle at the PCS show, your best stop is the Fisherman's Landing Tackle booth. The name that stands out among anglers is Fisherman's Landing, your top choice in local and long-range fishing. Our hardworking crew will make your fishing experience one to remember. We offer the finest open party trips from 1 to 3 days, the best charter boats available, and of course, our world-renowned long-range fleet is second to none. All our open party trips can be easily booked online at fishermanslanding.com or give us a call. I'll see you at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
Adding a fish finder to my fishing kayak completely changed the way I fish. I'm Logan from Fastlane Kayaks, and I've been fishing from a Hobie kayak for over 4 years now. For about half that time, I was fishing without a fish finder. And trust me, it's called fishing blind for a reason. But don't just take my word for it. Here at Fastlane Kayaks, we've been installing and using fish finders on Hobie kayaks for over 25 years. Over all that time, we've done our fair share of trial and error to find the best mounts and methods for rigging a kayak. So instead of trying to learn 25 years of experience through endless YouTube videos, just drop your kayak off at Fastlane. Every Fastlane install is clean, user-friendly, and built to last in real saltwater conditions. One way we do that is by housing all the fuses and electrical connections inside a small waterproof case. Keeps everything protected, organized, and easy to access. Whether you're looking to add a fish finder, install a motor, or upgrade into a brand new fishing kayak, come by Fastlane Sailing and Kayaking in Mission Bay, or give us a call at 619-222-0766.
The reels that Southern California anglers have been waiting for are here. Shimano is proud to introduce the all-new Talica 40A and 50A reels. The Talica series is Shimano's flagship 2-speed lever drag reel. It sits at the very pinnacle of the offshore world. Shimano has increased the fishability of the larger Talica models by reducing rotational resistance at high drag and improving durability in critical positions within the reel. The all-new Talica 40A and 50A now boast Infinity Drive, which employs 2 drag washers housed on the side of the reel, allowing for an ultra-smooth, powerful drag system, while at the same time increasing winding power under a load by as much as 40%. The new Talica is built around a more compact, cold-forged machine aluminum one-piece frame. Plus, there's also a new higher high gear, built with a Southern California angler in mind. The new Talica 40 and 50A are available now at your local Shimano dealer.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning. So much fun with Tristin and Kade. Okay, we're going to do it. We're going to flip the prize coin and find out who's winning that 4-pack of Ledge Runner lures.
Oh,
Whether it's a texter or a caller. Today we have a texter. Congratulations, Gary in San Diego. You have got that full 4-pack, and you're going to get to decide whether you want to go to PCS in Costa Mesa or in the brand new Del Mar show.
Yeah, and you guys, I'm going to give you a big applause because you guys were fantastic for sure. And we hope you'll come back and be with us again.
Yeah. Absolutely. Anytime. I look forward to seeing you guys out at the shows.
Yeah. That'll be fun. You'll be at, will you be at both San Diego as well as Costa Mesa?
No, yeah. So I will be at both shows, and like I said, we'll have a whole host of Shimano team members from all facets of our business, along with pros, etc. And I'd love for you to give the prize winner. You have my number, my email. Please pass that along. We want to see some good pictures.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. Catching fish with them. Yeah, for sure. And you want to definitely check out all these new products, the Ledge Runner and the Tranx. Thank you guys.
Great job,
Tristin
guys.
Poole and Kade Gunter from Shimano. Appreciate you. Look forward to seeing the show. Look forward to seeing you back here. Thanks to Adam for all he does. And, of course, Jeff at the Fan. Next Saturday, Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle will be here. Next Sunday, Bill DePriest and Mike Bond from PCS shows. Thanks for listening today. We'll see you next week. Right back here on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook, YouTube Live, and 97.3 The Fan.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Take care.
KWFN and KWFN HD1 San Diego.
We try not to let things get too serious in the morning, except when we're talking about